Amber Marie is kicking it with us today.
Yes.
I'm excited to be here.
Welcome, Amber.
You have to catch yourself because this is my space to decompress. But the worker in you is like, wait, let me get back to that email. No, don't check that email. It's okay. It's 8 o'clock at night. I have to be a stickler for boundaries. It's very important to me. Get up at 2:20 in the morning to get to the city by 4:20 to get on the train to get here by 7:30. I'm in Brooklyn every week. I'm literally on the train no less than 2 times a week, going back and forth. But yes, it definitely gets crazy. My husband does come to me and say sometimes, I feel like you're putting you before me. And in my mind, it's like, how? I'm dog tired. I'm coming home to you.
How do you balance that?
Hey y'all, we back kicking it with Jess and KP.
Hi, we're back.
Yes, we have a special guest today.
Yes, a real special one. real special.
The amazing, incomparable hair doing.
Ooh. Come on with it.
Prayer slave.
Yes. Come on.
All the things. Amber Marie is
kicking it with us today.
Yes.
I'm excited to be here.
Welcome, Amber. Hello.
Hi.
You look
Happy
good.
to be here.
You look good.
Yes.
Thank you.
You look blessed.
Girl, you look blessed.
You look blessed. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity, guys.
Of course.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to grace us
Let me
with
tell
your
y'all
presence.
what I did. I canceled a dentist appointment. I was supposed to get my tooth taken out. But for y'all, I'm here. I'm in pain and all.
Oh,
Let's go.
Well, you look good.
Thank
You
you.
don't look like you're in pain.
They said if you look good, you feel good, honey. I'm good.
They said beauty
But
is
yes,
pain, so
yes.
you're beautiful.
I love y'all just that much.
Yes. Hopefully, this will give you, this will relieve some of your pain.
Yeah,
some
I don't even
laughs.
feel it. I don't even feel it.
Yeah, good. Yes. So, what state? I mean, you're in Baltimore right now, Baltimore, Maryland,
Yes.
but you were in New York probably 5 hours ago.
Yes.
And we'll probably be there in another 5 hours.
Yes.
She'll be back.
Tonight. Yes.
Oh my gosh! So you travel back and forth, state to state. Tell us.
It's crazy.
Tell
as
us.
it sounds.
Tell us all the things. Tell the people.
Okay, so I want to tell them. So I try to live a balanced life, and that requires me to somewhat be imbalanced and feel crazy, right?
Okay.
So I'm married. My husband lives here. My husband works here. And I recently opened a new salon in Brooklyn, and so
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I was in Brooklyn. I'm in Brooklyn every week. I'm literally on the train no less than 2 times a week, going back and forth. I serve my church here, which is my husband's church first. And so I also come back for that. It's very important to my husband that we go to church together. So that's a sacrifice that I make to go up there to New York, build business, and come back and be a wife and a family-oriented woman and businesswoman, all those things. So, yes, it's very hectic.
Wow. That's a lot.
That
It
is
is a lot.
It's a lot. How do you balance that out? Like, what is a day like?
So basically what I do is on my Mondays and Tuesday, when I don't have anything else to do, I make myself lay around. And I don't feel bad about
That's
that.
good.
Right. Okay.
If there is a list of things that I formed maybe throughout the weekend that I need to get to on Monday, if I am not at mental capacity to do it, I don't do it.
Okay.
And I don't feel bad about it.
Good.
I have to, because my life is so hectic, I have to make space for me to do nothing. Some people say, "Oh, you can rest on the train." No, you can't. It's 2025. People are crazy.
Hello, that part.
But also, you're most of the time just coming down from your day, but you're still in motion. Physically, you're in motion. You're on the train, And my mind is coming down to, I always say I feel crazy when I leave New York because I literally feel like I'm transforming into something else, which I am. I'm going back into wife mode. I'm a dog mom. I'm answering texts from my pastor that I didn't respond to in the last 3 days, things like that. And so when I get on the train, I feel like I'm almost getting undressed. I'm taking off the business owner. I'm taking off the confidant that my clients find me to be, the friend that all of my New York friends know me to be. And I'm putting on, okay, I gotta go home, I gotta be nice and tender to my husband, and I gotta switch that whole, take the fire out of it, right? And be this soft, tender-hearted woman and, you know, tend to him, whatever it is he needs. If you want us to watch a movie together, I have to be available for that. And on the train, not only am I doing that, but I'm also coming down from my days there, conversations that were shared with me with clients and, you know, things that people have asked me to pray for. Please pray for my son. He has a test coming up. You know, all of these things, I have to go through that, you know, and by the time I hit BWI Amtrak station, I need to be present here. Yeah.
So doing that train ride, is that your time to like decompress? And
that is my time to decompress. Okay. That is the time that I do that. Sometimes I'll find myself, well, let me just check my email, and I'll catch myself, you know, because you will decompress mentally from your workspace and work week there and what needs to be done, especially with the new salon. You need cabinets. I texted Jess last week. It was like, yo, I got a salon, but I don't got no trash cans. I totally forgot to buy trash cans. You know, so, but I was saying that when you're on the train, you have to catch yourself because this is my space to decompress. But the worker in you is like, wait, let me get back to that email. You know, let me respond to that. I opened it, but I didn't respond. It's so many things pulled in so many directions. And so I have to be a stickler for boundaries. It's very important to me, even for myself. Accountability to myself, you know. No, don't check that email. It's okay. It's 8 o'clock at night. Or it's 4:20 in the morning. You're just getting on the train. You know what I'm saying? It's okay if you didn't respond right now. You didn't. She's been waiting for you. So just wait a few more hours. You're going to go to Baltimore. You're going to lay down. You know, and you're going to come into the fullness of wife mode and all of that and be in Baltimore, be present there, and you'll get back to her, you know. And so accountability and boundaries are very big for me.
That's so good that you learned that, because y'all are like newly married. It's so good because when you were speaking and you were saying how like those layers just had to come off, I didn't learn that until probably like 2 years ago when I took off of work for that summer. I had no turn off button. Like it was constantly going on and on. You know, I would walk through the door and Tim would ask me, he would say, can you leave that on the other side of the door? Like, can you leave work with work? And I'm like, how am I supposed to do that? Like, I'm a salon owner, you know, business, all the things. Like, I'm a mentor to these new commission stylists. Like, I can't turn off. He wanted our time to just be our time. Like our house. He said, this should be our sanctuary, and it's not. And it took me, we're going to be married 5 years now. It took me at least 2.5 years to get that picture. So that is just awesome. Like that you realized that so early on, because I had no turn off. And how you said that you needed to be tender and soft. Girl, what? When I say I was getting all the chills, like it was like electricity, because it was like, like yes, like it was really, I was really resonating with that, because he would say sometimes like, I feel like you talk to me like you talk to one of your employees, because it was that no turn off.
The funny thing is, you probably don't even talk to them like that.
Do you know that was his response? He said, actually, I think you talk to them better. And I was like, no, I do not. I would never talk to you like that. Like, and it was like, to hear you say that, I can take accountability for it and really say like, dang, like I did not realize I was doing that. And it was so hard for me to take accountability for it. And, you know, I'm just thinking I'm being this boss wife, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and it's like, no, they need us to be soft and, like you said, tender. And I feel like, you know, Tim, you know, y'all know Tim. Tim is, like, laid back and, like, you know, he gonna turn up. He gonna stand on some couches, but he allows me to be soft. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not, like, rah-rah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like... Why not? Why not? So that's great that you learned that
early.
That's what you need to do. So that you can have that balance. And baby, you just preach. Testify. That's right.
So I want to know, with all of that you just said, that like, what challenges do you face with that, or have you faced, or what decisions have you had to make, you know, to be able to get to where you are now?
It's still crazy. Don't let my answering you make you think it's perfect, because it's not. You know, my husband is a very expressive man, which I taught myself to appreciate that. It can become very annoying sometimes, but then I realized how many women have sat in my chairs over the years and said, my husband won't talk to me.
They need that.
My brother won't talk to me. My father doesn't talk to me. He doesn't express, or they were made to feel like they don't have emotions. And so when I get irritated, I neutralize myself to myself. Calm down. Thank God he's talking to you.
Yes.
Thank God he's telling you what he doesn't like, because he could not be doing that.
Right.
He's doing something else. You
Yes.
know? And so that's something that I accountability to myself, right? But being that James is expressive, even in those moments when I don't feel like being the soft, tenderhearted, he's not going to let it be any other way.
Love it.
He's going to say something. And much like Tim, he's very soft-spoken, very soft-hearted type of guy. He doesn't stand on tables and chairs, but his wife does. But if you mess, one thing about James, if you mess with his wife, he'll do anything. You know, so that I can't say. But Pastor Ash, he ain't gonna stand on tables. Well, he will turn out for his wife.
Tim be like, don't let the glasses fool you.
I love that, though. I think it's a perfect balance.
Yes.
But yes, it does get chaotic, you know. And my husband does come to me and say sometimes, I feel like you putting you before me. And in my mind, it's like, how? I'm dog tired. I'm coming home to you. Like, I could stay here, you know. I could stay here and I could get up. I can wake up whenever I want. Or I have to stay here tonight and I have to get up at 2:20 in the morning to get to the city by 4:20 to get on the train to get here by 7:30. To get up and get off the train, go make you some breakfast, and try to be normal through my tiredness. Because this is just the hand that Christ has dealt me for right now, for however long it is, you know. But yes, it definitely gets crazy, you know, and I have to, I feel crazy in that because, like I said, I go back and forth with accountability. And sometimes you have to decide what you're going to give into. You know, sometimes I'm not always tenderhearted every time. You're not going to get a soft answer every time. And I know that the word says soft answers turn away wrath. But right now, listen, it is about my business. And this is where I need to be. I'm only one person, you know, and I need you to hold whatever bag I've been pouring into before this season. Hold that for me right now so that I can tend to this garden over here. And I promise you, we're going to come back together and it's going to be good.
Go off,
That's
girl.
it. Go off. That's it. But you don't allow people to make you feel bad for doing what you got to do, even your husband.
Yeah.
And I say that as respectful as possible.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you'll what we call crash out. You'll literally crash out trying to pour in so many portals at one time.
Yes.
And it's like, listen, when I take off those 2 weeks, or when I take off Wednesday and Thursday, and I'm here and I'm filming, and then I'm going to come to DC and support you tonight. These are the times where I'm pouring into us. I need you to hold that, because next weekend I can't do this again. I got to be in New York.
Yes.
You can't send me no text about when you coming home, because you know I'm not coming home until Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So it's a balance, you know, of give and take. And you also, as you lean into your partner, you're teaching them how to treat you as well.
Yes.
Because you just went to, you was in Europe. You told me you was going to Europe 2 days before you had to go to Europe. And I just was like, okay. You know, backs to the T. Like, what?
So how did you end up with a salon in New York? Did both of you live in New York at one point?
James is a diehard Baltimore person. I did not even know him when I lived here before. I met him.
So you moved to New York?
Yes.
And then moved back here once you got married?
I moved to New York 12 years ago.
Okay.
Give the people the story.
Yes. I moved to New York 12 years ago, and I met James. I got hired for a wedding by a childhood friend here in Baltimore.
And so you came back here for the wedding?
For the wedding.
Okay.
And that's where I met James at.
Oh, okay.
October 10th, 2020. So 10/10/20.
Wow.
Okay.
Yep. That's when I met him, and we were together ever since. But
was it hard for you to move back to Baltimore?
Oh, I hated it. I still hate it. So, but I did it for my family, you know. I did it for the alignment that I believe God has for my life and my marriage, through my marriage, you know. But I hate it here, actually. And then I like the fast pace. I like the hustle. I love living under the pressure of New York. Yeah, so I hate Baltimore. I hate it. I hate being here. I mean, you know, on the bright side, outside, so I won't sound so negative. I appreciate meeting you two, you know, but outside of y'all, I hate it here. You know, I like living under the pressure of New York and all that it is. Like the pressure to produce, the pressure to stay ahead, the pressure to also stand out when everybody stands out in New York. I mean, from the homeless people to the wealthiest people, everybody stands out there, you know? And so it's so much pressure, but because I've had such a great run there, looking back now, I realize I went there so naive. Crazy things happened to me there, and I think we'll get into that in a second. But while I was there, I realized that I came there with no expectations. So then when traumatic things did happen to me, it really threw me off. But God sustained me, and my willingness, I don't turn down easy. I mean, I think that y'all know that about me. You literally have to put me out, you know. But I don't turn down easy. But by the grace of God, it's been an amazing time there. Yes. Even with the lows, it's been an amazing time. And I cannot deny that I feel, and I know that I was supposed to be there.
Yes.
It's too
evident.
It's too obvious and evident, you know. But yes, I love New York. And I hate Baltimore.
Well, I love that for you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. I have loved watching your journey. Like, I feel like when you were leaving Baltimore to go to New York, I was leaving Baltimore to go to Atlanta. So to see you, to follow you throughout that time, like we both like grinding, both trying to make it in these different spaces and just following each other like online, to see that you did it like in another state and New York at that is hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like very concrete hard. Jungle. I mean, you know, we the roads that get from concrete, but they the concrete jungle. You know what I'm saying? So like to see that you did it, like it's just so admirable, you know. I really admire it. I really when you messaged me and said like, you know, I gotta come back to Baltimore. I'm thinking about getting a suite, blah blah blah, and you did your tour. That was our first time like meeting in person.
Really?
And we had been following each other years, like at least 10, at least almost 13. That's crazy.
Never met.
So y'all had initially met on social media. Just following each other.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's cool. I didn't know
like
that.
Jess followed me. I just followed her back, and then that was it. I never saw her in person. Never in my life.
Wow.
I don't even know. I think now I've noticed that we know some of the same people, but I didn't even have anybody to say, oh, what's up with the girl Jessica or whatever, you know, like no reference point at all.
Wow.
Oh, that's amazing.
I remember at the anniversary party, you just told me like, you exactly who you show up to be on social media. And that meant a lot to me because some people be
different. Totally different.
Dang. Like, you know what I'm saying? How do you, like, what's your take on that? And because we live in this era of social media where everybody, you know, if you have a lot of followers or whatever, you know, people that goes to the head. So, like, how do you feel about this era that we are in?
You probably, because you are much more, I feel much more of a social butterfly than I am, which is something that I've learned. I've taken, one of the points that I've taken from you within the last year is that you just like a butterfly. You go in a room and you make your way around. Me, I'm not going to go in a room, you know, which could be, I mean, it could be positive and it could be negative, no matter whichever way you look at it, you know. But the way that I handle it, somebody said to me, a barber friend of mine stopped past the new salon this weekend, and she was saying that she didn't know she didn't know that I had a sibling. And I was like, yeah, I have a brother. And she was like, you don't give me that you have a sibling. And I was like, what does that mean? Like, how do they act, you know? So she was just saying, she was like, no, your presence and the way that you talk is so matter of fact. You don't give me that you're influenced by anyone. So when she says that I can't tell if you have a sibling, she's saying when I talk to someone that has a sibling, I can see where their influence is. Like, you know, some people say, oh, my big sister did hair, or, you know, I don't get that from you. And then my client in my chair agreed with her, which they're perfect strangers. But I was like, you okay? But no, I understood what she was just like, I said, so what do you mean by it? And she said, well, you just kind of march to your own beat. You know, you give me that. Like,
Same.
if you want to get up and you want to do something, you just do it. You know, there is no reluctancy or slowfulness or apprehension. You just do it, you know? And I said, well, I respect that. You know, so to answer your question, I feel like it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
It doesn't move me. That part of what she described, I do believe that. And I don't say that in a cocky way. I say that very confidently that if I do walk in a room and you're not nice, then you're just not nice. You're a person that has a lot of followers that's not nice to me. You know? And I don't let that, it doesn't shake me. It doesn't make me inadequate. You could be on a platform and I could be there to see you and you could not be nice and I still feel no way. You know? I actually feel bad for you. You know what I mean? Like, I do. You know, to be as influential, to have people come to see you for whatever it is and then not be nice is kind of crazy. You know? But it doesn't take away anything from me. Like, I don't care. You just not nice. That's it. You know, but I also I want to say this because some people have described me as not nice.
Really?
Yes.
Well,
yes.
Why would they say that?
Because it's about being direct. It's about your assurance. You know, let's just talk about that because everybody wants to discuss
that because you know I'm good cop, she bad cop.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Right. So 50%, Amber. The blessed girls.
What are we?
50%, Amber.
That's hilarious.
Nah, but for real, I mean, people,
yes, that's what they say.
I've even listened to Mean Girls talk about Mean Girls.
Right? Baby.
You know what I mean? Like, you're nasty too, though.
That part.
You know? But let's just play devil's advocate. Yes, I have had people say that about me, clients, because I won't give you a color that you don't qualify for.
Yeah, because
that doesn't make me mean though.
Off and damaged.
Right. I've had people come 40 minutes late to their reservation and I
no
can't do it. Then I mean, you know, so it's about a lot of it has to do with the boundaries, right? And also what their projection onto you, right? So if they don't have a boundary for that, right? And then they come and meet you and you do, now you're nasty. I'm not nasty. I'm not nasty because it would be the same thing if the person before you came 40 minutes late and it made your appointment late, you would be mad.
Right.
So I can't do that to the next person. And no, they're not here yet. You know what I'm saying? And so that, I've been called mean girl. I mean, Google reviews and all.
What?
Yeah. I'm like, girl, child, please.
Wow.
That's why I'm not paying for the subscription. Because y'all can get on there and say whatever y'all want. And nobody ever tells the full truth.
No.
You never gave Mean Girl.
I'm not
even before we formally met on social media, it never gave Mean Girl.
I'm not a mean girl.
It never gave that. I have seen you by other women.
Girl. Chanel bag. You can say it. Chanel bag.
Like, what is going on? I want to
tell
be
Kiana. Kiana don't know.
Well, I need to know because I'm your friend. I ain't the mean girl.
Girl.
You a good friend.
They know where to be found right now. But as soon as you have a boundary, you're mean. And that's exactly what caused that disconnection. It's like, no, wait a minute. I don't like the way you're handling it.
Well, they do that to themselves.
It wasn't like you were posting it like just like to show.
Right. No,
like it never gave
not really
braggy or anything like that. Like you see, I see the cardiac, I see all the things. You know what I'm saying? You always gave that, and the way you showed up on social media, likewise, you show up in real life the same way. So I'm just so surprised to hear about the mean girl thing.
It's a boundary thing.
That's crazy.
Other than that, nobody talks bad about me. It's only when it doesn't. I can't allow them to do whatever they want to do. You know.
Yeah.
And it's. Do I feel like there was space to mind how I say things? Yes.
Okay.
Once I started to hear back in the chair, like, I always ask people, well, how did you hear about the Glam Experience?
Okay.
And they'll tell me, oh, social media, or you do my mom's hair, or you do my sister's hair, whatever. And girl, I've been trying to get to you for a long time. You always book, but I'm finally here. And they told me, do not be late because she don't play, right? And I would keep hearing that. But at the same time, it's like, I don't though. It's my time. This is a time before the pandemic and a little bit after, like 2 years after the pandemic, because remember when we first came back after the pandemic, you can only have a certain amount of people in the facility at a time. But no lie, before the pandemic, I was averaging 17 people a day, 5 days a week.
Wow.
I had 2 beauty assistants. One I had on a green card from Grenada, I'm sorry. So I'll just say Trinidad. From Grenada. And so it was crazy. But imagine that type of pressure and managing all of those people in a week to one person. I'm one person. The only assistants I have are here to shampoo. They didn't even braid, you know? And so I have to abide by my boundaries. I have to abide by my policy, you know, because if I don't,
it's going to get chaotic.
It's going to be chaotic. I get wiped out, you know, and either way, you're going to give me a bad review because you know why? You're going to come and you're going to say you waited a long time. So do I listen to what I put in place policy-wise, or do I satisfy you? I got to go with my policy. And then not
satisfy somebody else. You go with the policy.
And not satisfy someone else. Because whether you get your hair done and get gone, the person after you is going to be complaining. And they're a new client. And they came from Harlem. Or I've had people fly from Africa for a silk press. I'm not doing that. You know, and so I believe mean girl can be a perception, is what I'm saying. That's the other side of that. I would agree. That's the other side of that.
And some people just be
Some people are just mean.
Just be mean.
Yes. Most girls are just mean. Yes.
Okay.
I believe that.
Interesting. So what do you do for fun?
Girl, go to sleep. One of my favorite things is going to sleep. I'm not lying to you. My friends have this thing where they were like, we already know what I'm going to say, take a nap. I go to sleep about it.
I do love a good nap, though.
Let me tell you something, and y'all going to know what I'm saying, what I'm saying, because this is not for the fun. This is not for the viewers, but y'all going to know this is our little secret language. There have been plenty of times that you have texted me, I go to sleep. I'm not going off. I gotta go to sleep. If I'm in a space to go to sleep, you know? Like, I'm just gonna go to sleep because you already know, you know? And so that's just an example. When, you know, the transition into the new salon, which you guys are familiar with too, a lot of those days I went to sleep. And my friends were like, yo, you okay? I was like, I'm good. Because this is how I've settled myself with sleep. If I'm up and I'm worrying and I can't do anything to change it, why am I up?
Okay.
Why am I up? If I'm going to be up and I cannot stop myself from worrying about it, I need to go to sleep.
Let me just take a nap.
Let me take a nap. Literally, my friends say that. And we're going to take a nap. Take a nap. That's my thing. I've been like that for years. Because I feel like, first of all, let's just surfacely tap what sleeping does to the body. It resets you. Most of the time when I wake up, I'm better. Things might not be better, but I'm better.
Okay.
I'm more sober and way less emotional. You know, I can come back and address things in a better and healthier way, in a clearer mind. Most of the time, I'm coming back to you with the strategy, you know, whereas when I was up, I had questions, you know. And it's just my way to calm myself. Yeah. Like, bro, I can't. I carry enough. Why would I be up worried about this? You know? And in a moment where I cannot go to sleep, I just whisper a prayer. I was like, yo, I told y'all, like, this nigga's wilding right now. Talking about JC, my man JC. Like, I don't know what he's doing. This is crazy. 2024 is crazy, you know? But I just be like, yo, what you doing? Speak to me. Show me. Because I need to hear from you because this is crazy. I'm fresh out of options. I've said this to y'all, you know? And I don't know my way. I can't find my way. I need it to be your way so that it lasts. I know if it's your way, you're going to provide for it. You're going to make a way. I cannot be so desperate that I mess it up, you know? Yeah. What you doing? And I go on.
I love that.
I go on my way. Now, this year, I do want to do a little bit more than going to sleep. Like I need to start going to like the chiropractor. But it has a lot to do with the fact that I don't like Baltimore. Because I was in New York, I used to do everything. Like I can wake up and go to the most luxurious spa on a Tuesday morning in the city and just have me a great time, and then walk out and go to Ivor on Madison and have lunch by myself. Like I loved it, you know, and I thrive off of the energy there. Here, it just gives me go to sleep. It gives get Chick-fil-A salad and go to sleep.
How can we change that?
How many days a week are you
to hang
here?
out with y'all, but y'all too busy too.
Oh my goodness.
Y'all meet just in Baltimore.
Oh my goodness. How many
Brooklyn
days
to
are you in Baltimore?
So on average 3 days. Sunday, because I gotta go to church with James. Monday and Tuesday.
Okay.
I'm here Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
We gotta figure out a fun girls' day, so you won't hate Baltimore so much.
We don't want you to hate it.
We don't want you to hate it.
Girls this for a whole year now.
Like home. It's no place like. When I think of home, I think of
it. Y'all know Jess was a singer back in that day, right? Y'all know that, right?
Yes. I wanna love it. I need community to love it though.
Interesting though. Like even my friends who are in the beauty industry here, they like Jess. It's just like so cliquish and I'm like, I didn't see it at first, but now I'm able kind of like to step outside of it and see a little bit, and it is. I'm not in the clique. Yeah. I feel like because I've always marched to the beat of my own drum. I never worked in like the popular popping salons here. Like I always did my own thing. Yes. I'm just nice, friendly to everybody. You know what I'm saying? And because I always liked community. You know, I always wanted to I would have events and like invite my fellow beauty entrepreneurs or professionals because I wanted that community because a lot of my career I was in a salon suite. Okay. So you know what I'm saying? But I don't subscribe to that. But you know, just having conversations with you know, being in New York and then coming here and trying to, you know, get back into the industry here. You know, you were like, what's up?
Weird.
And I felt you. It was you're doing this 19, 20 years, and you're like, I don't have nothing to prove to nobody here. I would feel the same way. I would feel the same way. And you know, it's like, do y'all see the material?
Yeah. And even since just this year, I've had people from here message me about coming here. And it's like, I've been here for a year, you know, and now that boundary thing. I can't rush and make space for that because now I'm onto something else.
Different.
That can come. I'm not saying I'm close to that, but it will not be priority because I've made it priority for a year, right? And so that comes with being sensitive to time and direction, right? And being clear with that, you know. But yeah, Baltimore is cliquish, but in more ways than one.
More ways than one.
When I first moved from Baltimore years ago, people used to always say, "Don't they call it like the home of the crab because y'all like crabs? Y'all pull each other down like." And I was just like, at first I was like, no,
that's
but then you think about it,
that's horrible.
But it is how it goes. It is how it goes.
It's sadly the truth,
you know. But that makes Jess and Kiana stand out so much when you meet people that are not like that.
Yeah, you gotta hold on to them.
You gotta hold on to it. You gotta be nice. You gotta honor that space that they bring you into, right? And you have to acknowledge and be as expressive to them as you can, as much as you can. That's why I always tell you, I love y'all, thank y'all, you know, like, because it's a rarity, you know, especially, and it goes through so many, I can go on a rabbit hole about that, being black, being a female, you know, being young, you know, all of the things, being smart, you know what I'm saying, having a nice body, dressing nice, like all of those things, you know, that a lot of people would use to repel away from you guys.
Yeah.
Because of the crab mentality, right?
Yes.
It's like, no, I want to be with that.
Yes.
It's a magnetic for me.
Yes.
You know, when I come in here, that's why I'm like, hey, y'all.
Yes.
Happy New Year.
At the door.
You know, like when my thing said access denied, I was sad. You know, like, it's crazy. Like, wow, I really got to wait for somebody to buzz me in my house now. But I get it. You know, but at the end of the day, still grateful for the connection. No matter how it changes, still stay connected.
Yes. And you know what I was so grateful for, and I didn't even share this with you when you went to New York and you sent me a video of the Beauty Hub.
I sent it to Jess too.
Oh, you did? Okay. I just thought that was like so genuine.
Yes.
I felt that you was like, I brought my family with me.
Oh,
I was like,
absolutely,
I
it's right
this.
there. Every time I open that
I
top
was
drawer,
like,
it's right there.
I mean, it really touched my heart.
Yeah,
So
I was showing
thank
people in
you.
the salon,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Oh, that's so nice."
Yes.
Yeah, I keep it there. I just believe that.
Don't start it.
That's why I said no.
Don't start it.
No.
No
way.
I just think about how intentional, like God is.
He
God,
is.
We talk about all the time, like all those years that she was just my client. Then they grew into a friend. Now then grew into my family. Then grew into a business partner. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
The same with you, like following each other on social media all that time. Never met. Like God was like, no, not yet.
Let me tell the story
Not
about
yet.
when Jessica first bought out Bombshell t-shirts.
Oh God!
It
Don't
was
start it.
the black, white, and pink shirt. This is when you had House of Bombshell, the standalone brick and mortar.
Yeah.
And we were on Snapchat. I just downloaded my Snapchat today. And it was showing me messages from like 385 weeks ago.
Wow.
That's how long ago I was on it. But quick story, she was posting a shirt, didn't know each other, and nice girl energy, sweet girl. And this goes back to just being nice, right? And it also testifies that I am nice because I didn't even know you, right? Because I know after they listen to this, I'm like, child, let me Google her. Oh, that's who she really is. No. I'm telling you who I really am right now.
This is what that review say.
Yeah, this is before I ever knew her. This is not a put on.
Yeah.
Years before I met her.
Yeah.
I said, I want a shirt. I said, it's so cute. I love this shirt. Perfect stranger on Snapchat. And she was like, send me your address. I'll send it to you. I never responded to that because what she didn't know is that I was homeless. I didn't have an address to send her to send the shirt.
That's crazy.
And that, I remember.
And I never knew that.
Yeah. I didn't tell you that until I came here.
To tour.
For tour.
Yeah.
And I didn't have an address. And I was homeless because of someone else's negligence, right? And you get so knee deep in surviving.
Yes.
That it's little moments like that make you like wake up like, wait, I am homeless. Because I was still functioning. I was still, let me tell you something. I was still going to the salon. I was getting dressed. I had a Nissan Altima Coupe. That's what I had with some rims on it. I did too. My parents bought it for me. And I was in New York and I used to get dressed out of the trunk. If I made enough money to pay booth rent and get a hotel, I did that. If I didn't, some nights I stayed in a car. I would just drive around until I felt I was safe enough in the neighborhood. Or I had a friend at the time who's still my friend. She does my website, all of my graphics and stuff for years now. When I could stay with her in Queens, I did stay with her. But I realized that, talking about the intentionality of God, that I wasn't able to respond to her, but it didn't disrupt his plan or connection for us years later.
Wow. Girl.
And he was so mindful of me that I didn't have to uncover that to her. I just never responded. She never came back and said, well, why you ain't
Well, she phoned me.
I tried to send her a free shirt. She didn't even want it. You know what I'm saying? By the time I came and told her, last year I had already bought a house from doing hair. Never mind being homeless 4 years before that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I had already passed the time where I was in a pandemic. I gave my pastor $14,000 cash on a Wednesday, sitting in Ruth Chris. Blessed to be a blessing. You know what I'm saying? But by the time I met her, all of those things were already done. So she didn't have to even come to know me by that. That's the mindfulness of God.
Yes.
So she could really sit here and say like, yo, I watched her give Chanel. I watched her do this. I watched her do that. That's just who she is. That's true. That's the true testimony.
Yeah.
From her perspective, you know? But I came here and I was just like, yo, you know I couldn't give you an address that while ago because I ain't have no address.
No.
Wow.
That's
I was
so
homeless
crazy.
for 4 months. People don't know that.
Wow.
I was homeless for 4 months in Brooklyn and I never came back home. My father was like, you can come home anytime. I'm not coming home.
Wow.
I stayed until I figured it out, you know. And that's what I mean when I say that you learn, you go there naive, you know, and then you just learn. You learn that real estate in New York is absolutely crazy. You know, you need all of this proof and all this money and 4 and 5 months of security deposits. Like, all that's most of the time why I had to stay in the car. I had to get the money to move, you know?
Wow.
So it was a transformation for me, though. And in turn, it has taught me to be mindful of what you don't know about people.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Be
Mic
mindful
drop.
of what you don't know about people.
Mic drop.
Yes. Well, there we have it.
There we have it. Thank you.
I love y'all.
Thank
We
you.
love
I love
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
This was
you.
so good.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks
I
for coming to
appreciate
kick
it.
it.
Yes.
Yes.
Period.
This is
Anytime. Just put my coat back on the door. Please.
You mean I had to wait for somebody to let me in?
Let me in.
Oh
This is
no,
crazy.
I'm not leaving because I don't want to even, I just want to get here and it says face recognized.
Yep.
But thank you.
Yes.
We love you.
Yeah,
Is
I love
anything
y'all.
that
I
you
love
want
y'all.
to tell the people before
How
we
can they find you?
Find me at the Glam Experience on IG. www.theglamexp.com is my website. You can also find me at Ashanavi because it's not dead.
Period.
You can find me there. That's the Baltimore location and experience that you can have in Baltimore. That's what that is.
Yes.
An experience that you can have in Baltimore. So you can find me at any of those 3 places and follow along my journey because it's continuing.
It's lit.
Period.
It's lit. And I got my girls with me, so
Yes.
it's up for y'all.
Bye.
Bye. Y'all come and do that. Bye.